Hey everyone, Sam here from Silly Stories for Kids. Guess what? Here's another story made up on the spot just for you. We hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's go. One day, two girls named Milla and Chloe were at the park. Now, they had been playing on the swings and playing on the slides and having lots and lots of fun when, all of a sudden, Chloe saw something. Hey, Milla, what's that fuzzy orange thing over there next to the playground? I don't know, said Milla. Let's go have a look. So they both raced over to see there was a fuzzy orange patch in the grass. Oh, what do you think it does? Chloe reached down and touched the fuzzy orange thing, and as she did, it made a very funny noise. And it popped out of the ground. Sure enough, underneath the fuzzy orange thing was a little man with fuzzy orange hair. Who are you? Said Chloe. I'm Fizzy Whistler. Thank you for activating me. You can't catch me, and I'm going to have some fun. Okay, well, I'll see you later. He zoomed off in the direction of their house. What do you think he meant by he's going to have some fun? Said Milla. I don't know, said Chloe, but we better catch him. So Chloe and Milla started racing back towards their house. As they were running along, they noticed that the things on the side of the road all seemed to be knocked over. There was knocked over rubbish bins and bent letterboxes. There was all kinds of things that seemed to be a little bit out of place. As they got closer and closer to their house, they could hear some noises. Oh dear, said Chloe. What do you think it is? I don't know, said Milla. Let's see. As they turned the corner and saw their house, they realised that something was terribly wrong. Their entire house was completely wrapped in wrapping paper, and there, standing next to the house, was Fizzy Whistler. Fizzy Whistler, said Chloe, did you do this to our house? Yes, I did, and it is so much fun, so I'm going to do it to some more houses. Okay, I'll see you soon, and make sure you don't see my brother, because he will stop me, said Fizzy Whistler. What does your brother look like, said Milla. I'm not telling you anything about that blue fuzzy-haired man. Okay, blue fuzzy hair, said Chloe. What? Said Fizzy Whistler. I'm out of here. And he zoomed off in the other direction. As the girls were looking around, they decided that they better find Fizzy Whistler's brother to try and fix the chaos that Fizzy Whistler was creating. All right, Fuzzy, Blue, I think we should start back at the park, said Chloe. Yeah, good idea, said Milla. So both the girls raced back to the park to see what they could find. They started searching around everywhere, and in no time at all, they saw, hey, look, said Milla, there's a fuzzy blue patch over here. They raced over, and Milla tapped the fuzzy blue patch. Whizz! It popped out of the ground. Oh dear, said the fuzzy blue man. Are you Fizzy Whistler's brother? Said Chloe. I am. My name is Wizzy Fizzler. Wizzy, I think we accidentally unleashed your brother on the town. Oh dear, we better go find out what he's doing. All right, which direction did he go? Said Wizzy Fizzler. That way, said Milla. Okay, let's go. Wizzy Fizzler started heading off in that direction, and the girls started running along behind. As they were racing along, they started to see it. More and more things were completely wrapped in wrapping paper. There was a car that was completely wrapped in a beautiful Christmas tree wrapping, and then there was a bike that was beautifully wrapped with a garden hose used as a wrapping bow. Oh dear, said Milla, what have we done? Then they saw it. There it was, a dog trying to walk down the street completely wrapped in wrapping paper. Oh dear, said Chloe. Quick, we better help him. They raced over to the dog and started to unwrap him. Whoa, thanks guys, said the dog. Did a fuzzy orange-haired man do this to you? Yeah, he did. It was pretty funny, said the dog. Which way did he go? Said Chloe. He went that way, said the dog, as he pointed his nose over towards the shopping centre. Oh dear, he said. As they listened, they could hear noises off in the distance. Wow, hey, oh, ow, hey. Quick, we better go, said Milla. They started racing off. Thank you, said Wizzy Fizzler. And they zoomed over towards the shopping centre. As they got there, they knew that Fizzy Whistler had definitely been there, because there were cars in the car park that were completely wrapped. There was an old lady trying to hold her shopping that was completely wrapped head to toe. She said. The girls raced over and started to tear off the wrapping paper so that the lady could move. What was that orange-haired fuzzy thing? Oh no, there's another one, said the lady, pointing at Wizzy Fizzler. Don't worry, said Wizzy Fizzler. I'm here to fix everything, but we gotta catch him first. Oh, he went in that way, pointed the lady. They looked inside the shopping centre and they could hear lots of yelling. What's he doing? Oh dear, he's got my legs. Oh dear, said Miller. Quick, let's get in there. The girls raced into the shopping centre and it looked ridiculous. There was all kinds of wrapping paper everywhere. Where does he keep getting all this wrapping paper from? Said Chloe. I don't know, said Miller, but we better try and catch him. How do we stop him? Well, said Wizzy Fizzler, you need to tap him on the shoulder. How are we going to do that? Said the girls. He's so fast. Let me have a think, said Wizzy Fizzler. I think you will need some super speed and maybe the ability to fly. I wonder if we could find something that could help. I don't know, said the girls. What could we possibly do? Maybe I could help, said a voice. Who said that? Said the girls, looking up, and there above them was a beautiful fairy. Hi, said the fairy. My name's Peach. Hi, Peach. Did you say that you could help? Said Miller. I did. I hear you need some super speed and maybe some ability to fly. Is that correct? Yes, that is true. Well, I have some very special fairy wings. But fairy wings are just toys, said Chloe. Not these ones, said Peach. Here you go. She handed a set to each of the girls and they popped them on. And don't forget your fairy wands, said Peach, as she handed each of them a fairy wand as well. What are we going to do with fairy wings and a fairy wand, said Chloe. Aren't fairies very gentle? Well, these ones react to what you need to do, said Peach. Oh, okay, said the girls. All right, said Miller. I think we should get in there. Yeah, said Chloe. Let's do it. So both the girls raced in towards where they could hear Fizzy Whistler in the distance. And as they started to run, they lifted into the air. Wow, said Chloe. This is. She started zooming around back and forth, up and down and sideways with ridiculous speed. Wow, she said. This is amazing. And what does the fairy wand do? She pointed her fairy wand towards one of the shops, and as she did, wow, said Chloe. What just happened? The shop was covered in a giant explosion of colourful dust. What was that? Said Chloe. That was fairy dust, said Peach. Oh my goodness, said Miller. I'm coming too! She zoomed into the sky with her fairy wand. As they went in, they were in the middle of the food court and Fizzy Whistler was wrapping up people trying to eat their food. Oh dear, said Fizzy Whistler. What are you doing here? He said to the girls. We're here to stop you, said Miller. Yes, said Chloe. We're going to stop you from wrapping up any more things. No, you're not, said Fizzy Whistler. I'm going to wrap you, he said as he zoomed straight towards them. As he did, the girls ducked and dove. They were flying through the air and zooming around in circles. Let's get him, said Chloe. They started waving their wands towards Fizzy Whistler. As they did, explosions of fairy dust started flying everywhere. But this fairy dust seemed to be making lots of different changes. It kept zooming past, and as they shot towards Fizzy Whistler, they missed, and they hit a man who was eating his lunch. He turned into an elephant with giant ears. Whoa, said the man. What's going on? Oh dear, said Chloe. This is out of control. Let's keep going, said Miller. We just need to stop Fizzy Whistler. You'll never catch me, said Fizzy Whistler as he zoomed around them. He was circling them, getting ready to wrap them up. As he was about to tie the wrapping paper together, the girls both dropped down. Fizzy Whistler pulled the wrapping paper tight, and then they both shot their fairy wands straight towards him. He zoomed out of the way, and this time they hit a mummy and her 4 kids. As it hit, all of a sudden, they all turned into bunny rabbits. They started hopping around in circles. What's going on? Said the little one. Look at me, I can jump, said another. Woohoo! Kids, come back here, said the mummy. And the mummy was hopping off after all her kids. Sorry, yelled out Chloe. Quick, we need to get Fizzy Whistler. They zoomed around and they saw him. We need a plan, said Chloe. All right, said Miller. How about I'll go in the middle and I'll be a distraction. You try and hide and then see if you can get him. Okay, that's a good idea. So, Miller went out in the middle. Hey, Fizzy Whistler, she yelled. I bet you can't wrap me. Oh, I'll get you, said Fizzy Whistler as he zoomed towards her, getting ready to wrap her up in wrapping paper. He zoomed in and started going round and round and round. The wrapping paper was completely surrounding Miller. As this was happening, Chloe had floated to the top of the roof and was getting ready. Then she jumped straight down. Cowabunga! Yelled Chloe as she zoomed straight down towards Fizzy Whistler. He looked up at the last minute. No, he said as Chloe pointed her wand straight towards him. There was a giant explosion of fairy dust. It went everywhere. It hit Fizzy Whistler and it started to rain down on all the people in the entire food court. Fizzy Whizzler turned into a tiny little chipmunk and she tapped him on the shoulder and he fell to the ground. "Ow," said Fizzy Whizzler. They looked around. All the people in the entire food court had been completely changed. There was ducks and frogs and horses and donkeys and even 2 rhinoceroses that were trying to get their way out through the middle of the food court. "Excuse me. Ow. Ooh, excuse me. Oh dear. What are we going to do?" said Miller. "We've turned everyone into animals." "Don't worry," said another voice as Wizzy Fizzler zoomed into the room. "We can whiz and fizz and turn everything back to normal." "Really?" said the girls. "Really," said Wizzy Fizzler. "Peach, Peach," said Wizzy Fizzler. Just then, Peach reappeared. "Well, girls, did you have fun?" "That was so much fun," said Chloe, "but we seem to have turned everyone into animals. We've got to turn them back." "Oh," said Peach. "Well, maybe if I give you Wizzy Fizzler powers, you can whiz and fizz with Wizzy Fizzler and put everything back the way it's meant to be." "Really?" said the girls. "Really?" said Wizzy Fizzler. "No," said Fizzy Whizzler. "Don't put it back. The wrapping is fun." "Wrapping is fun," said Wizzy Fizzler, "but only on presents. Now, Peach, do you think you can do it?" "Definitely," said Peach. She waved her wand over the top of Chloe and Miller, and as she did, their fairy wings disappeared, and so did their fairy wands, and their hair turned blue. "Wow," said Chloe. My hair's blue." "Mine too," said Miller. "That means you've got Wizzy Fizzler powers. Are you ready?" "How do we use them?" said Miller. "Just start to spin," said Wizzy Fizzler. "Okay," said the girls. So they started to spin in circles, and as they did, whizz, "It's working," yelled Miller. "Let's go," yelled Chloe. So Chloe, Miller, and Wizzy Fizzler started whizzing their way around through the shops. And everywhere they went, sparkly dust started to pour out everywhere. And when it landed on the people, they all went back to normal. All the animal people turned back into normal people. The shop that had been hit turned all of its things back into what they were meant to be. As they zoomed past all the wrapping paper, it disintegrated and unwrapped whatever was there. They whizzed their way through the shopping centre, and as they did, the people yelled out, "Thank you! You're welcome!" yelled the girls as they went out the door. Following the same path all the way back home, they unwrapped every single present using their Wizzy Fizzler powers. As they zoomed back in towards their house, they did 7 circles around it until all the wrapping paper had disappeared. "What do we do now?" said Chloe. "We tap each other on the shoulder," said Wizzy Fizzler. So they made a circle and they all tapped each other on the shoulder at the same time. And they fell to the ground. When they landed, they looked at each other. "That was incredible," said Miller. "Yeah," said Chloe. "Thanks, Wizzy Fizzler." "I'll see you next time," said Wizzy Fizzler as he walked off back down the street. As this happened, their dad opened the door and came outside. "Girls," he said, what just happened? I was trapped inside our house by wrapping paper." "Well," said the girls, "I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you." And that is the end of the story. This episode is brought to you by Peach's Fairy Wings. Had enough of those boring fairy wings that don't let you fly around in circles very, very quickly? Then grab a pair of Peach's Fairy Wings and they will let you zoom across the sky. They come with magic wands that can turn things into all kinds of other things. We hope you're enjoying Silly Stories for Kids. Make sure to leave a review wherever you find your podcast and share it with all your friends. This has been me, Peach the Magic Fairy, and me, Sam. We'll see you soon.